Classwize is a web-based program. Currently, Bryan County Schools allows it for use with students beginning in 4th grade and up. Is a website. You will start by clicking on the URL. Now, when you log in, you're going to use your Google login. So you'll click your Google sign in. You will select your name. It's going to show you all of your Google Classrooms. It's really important that your Google Classrooms are up to date. You keep track of which students are in those classrooms and remove students that are missing from those classrooms. So you can see there is a sync button. If you've made changes in your Google Classroom, you can click that sync button and it will manually update Classwize to mirror the change in your Google Classroom. Now notice each of these boxes is a different class. When you want to start monitoring a class, you're going to have to click Start Class, and you'll set a period of time that you want to monitor that class. You can see how this button is green. That's because this has been selected to start monitoring. Look at one of our class boxes. Notice there is a gear in the upper right-hand corner. Now, if you click on this gear, you do have some options to make some changes. But remember, our students are added and removed through our Google Classrooms, not from this gear. Also, be aware, the scheduling option really doesn't apply to elementary school, and it could cause some complications next year when students are moved and their schedules are changed. So, for elementary school, it's probably best not to set a schedule. Yes, a new window is going to appear. You can see this is the name of the class that I am currently monitoring. And you can see the amount of time in this session. This session, my ability to see these computers will end at 2:15 p.m. Now, each student in your class, when looking at the screen view, is going to display in a box. You can see the name of the student, and you can see what's currently on their Chromebook screen. Now, there is an option to click List View. That will allow you to see text per line for each site that student has open on their Chromebook. Now, another place that you can look is at your class tools. Your class tools open sites for students. It can also pause the internet if needed, and you can also make announcements. If you look at the rules section, this button allows you to create and change what sites you have blocked and allowed for this class and for certain students in it. The chat feature allows you to text with your students during an active classroom time. Looking at a student from the list view, you'll see the name of the student show up at the top of the screen, and every site that student has open will display in a list. Now you'll see these same icons even when looking at the screen view. The first one is the chat with the student button. If you click that, you can message that individual student. The next icon is open a link in a new tab on the student's browser. So you can actually redirect them from your computer. And finally, you have a stop internet access for this student, or you can also do this for all students. Notice the X's along each site. You can close a site for a student by clicking one of those X's. If you click the Rules button in the upper right corner of your screen, it will allow you to access where you can add and edit rules and see the rules list for your class. The rules, it's going to show up in a rules list. You'll see the site that's been selected. It'll also show which users the rule is applied to, and it will say whether the site is allowed or if the site is blocked. Notice you also can apply new rules from the top of this list. Add a new rule. The first step is you're going to have to search or select the site which you want to block or allow. Next, you're going to make the decision whether the site should be allowed or blocked. Then you have to note who the rule will apply to, if it's an individual student or if it's the whole class. And the last step is click Add Rule. To review the class tools that will come up if you click this button. So the first button is Open Site. Open Site will allow you to open a brand new browser window or tab for all students in your class. Students can close the tab or browse away from it. The Announcement button. The Announcement button allows you to send a simple text announcement to all the students in your class. Focus. Focus stops students from accessing the internet except for one or more focus sites that you have set. Any already open web pages will stay open, but students won't be able to open new sites or follow links unless it is to a focused site. Reward. Reward is when you want to give your students some temporary access to something fun. The difference between reward and a rule to unblock something is that a reward access will end after a set period of time, while rules will apply until you turn them off. Pause Internet. This will temporarily stop one or more students from accessing the internet in your class. Modify students. Our school will not allow us to add or remove students through Classwize. Remember, this is all done through your Google Classroom. Students' screen view, you will see all the tabs they have selected listed down below, and the current screen will take the main area of the screen. If you click on the student's screen, it will take you to the live view for that student. Live view for a student, it will list their name at the top. If you want to make sure that as they change tabs, your screen also changes, you will want to make sure that you have the Follow Active tab toggled on. You also will see other tabs that they have in the background of their computer along the top of your computer. If you choose to open a website for this student, you can click on the Open Website button, and that will open a new tab for that student. If you want to chat with them, you can click the chat button, and that will allow you to send text messages to this student alone. You also can use the Create Rule button to immediately block and close a page for the student or the whole class. If you choose to look at their screen and take it full screen, you may press that button so you get a better look at your computer. And you can close Live View at any time by clicking on the X in the top right corner.